that will be out in stores around the world in about 4 weeks, January. The book is called The Spirit of Leadership. And the book deals with the missing link between a follower and a leader. It took me 30 years of research and study to discover what that missing link was. And I discovered that the missing link that separates a follower from a leader or a successful business person from a failing business is what I call attitude. Attitude is a result of a belief system that comes from convictions about yourself and about your abilities. And leadership is born when a person discovers the truth about themselves and they believe that truth and commit themselves to becoming that truth. Therefore, learning the principles of management, learning the techniques of writing a business plan, learning organizational skills will not make you successful in leadership, nor in business. Because business is a result of the discovery of a passion that was deposited in you from your birth, or should I say, before your birth, and you were born to manifest it. Business is not about selling things. Business is about selling yourself to the world. True businessmen and women in history, those who have become successful, who we admire, they became successful not because of techniques, not because of courses in college, but they became successful because they discovered an idea that became a passion, that created a commitment, that produced a vision. And they pursued that vision at all cost. Please write this down, please. You will never succeed.
Welcome to Business Talk, folks. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the midweek business talk show here at Talk TV Media Network. My name is Sam Gadu. This is where we talk it all. We discuss everything business, how to start it, what you need to know to start a business. Failures are necessary in business. They are stepping stones to success in business as well. So wherever you're watching us from, welcome to the show today. My name is Sam Gadu. This is what we do here at Talk TV Media Network. We talk business, we talk politics, we talk health, we talk religious, everything, music, just everything. Because we realize that the society we live in, all the necessary puzzles need to be put together to have a functional society. So it is not just politics, right? You find so many people are not even interested in politics. There are those that are, their major concern is about healthcare, some business, some religious activities, some music. So this is a platform where you get everything. We bring everything to the plate for you. And such is the thing as today. So today we will be talking about business talk with Sam Gadu. The voice that you're hearing, that you just heard, is Dr. Miles Monroe, the late, may his soul rest in peace. And I think a lot of you need to pick up copies of those books before he could die. He published that. Very, very good, very interesting. Um, Very fascinating. How to start a business, what you need to do, because most people think that the only reason to get into business is just for selling stuff. It's beyond that. How can you sell something when you don't know how to sell yourself? So that's the first thing. So today I will be touching a little bit of those cornerstone pillars that will lead you to success. And before I even get into that, well, I'm going to get into that right away. Let me see who are watching us before I begin my topic. Lofa Peking, welcome to the show. All of you who are watching, it takes some time. Deshaun, Gadu, special shout out, welcome to the show, girl. MD, Suman, welcome to the show. All of you that are watching us, see Martinezle on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, even on my personal platform. Welcome to the show. So I've not even started, and someone is already asking, how does one become a successful business person in the wake of hardship? Okay, I will answer that later. That's a very, very brilliant question already. Very good question, but I will answer that later. So part of what I want to first attack is, why do you want to start a business? Why business? And what you need to know. Let me bring that up. What you need to know before you start your business. What do you need to know? This is a question or a statement that most people don't even realize it's so important before they start. Because people get into business for various reasons, different reasons. If you do a sample questionnaire from all spectrum of life, I tell people the views are different, the answers are different, but look around you. There's business everywhere. Everywhere. It doesn't matter here in the Americas. It doesn't matter in Africa, in Europe. Business is always ongoing, 24/7. Business is what builds nations, commerce, because they drive for money. People running after money, right? Very important. Very important. But the biggest question is why? What you need to know to start business. Well, some of the things that you do need to know before you even get into business is, number one, know yourself. Do you know the type of personality you are? Do you just want to get into business because XYZ or someone or Peter, Paul, Mary is doing business? Are you just trying to get into it for the sake of money? Because I always narrow this down to passion, to giftings. Whatever you do it at your best. Because when something is not part of you, you will try to get into it, and you won't be that successful at it. You have to have the drive, the passion. And Dr. Miles Monroe talks about that, the personality, the person, the attitude. What type of attitude are you bringing to the table, to your business? Attitude is everything, though. You're going to start that business, but what type of value attitude do you have? It's very key for you all. Are you just going to do online internet commerce, or you doing a storefront, whatever type of business it is, or farming? Somebody's always making money some way, somehow, through the process of business. The farmer will have to go to work. to till the ground and plant the crops and harvest those crops and process them and send them to the market. And in sending them to the market, someone is using what we call transportation to bring in those products to the market for sale. And someone will have to design the storefront very well, put them on the shelf, design them, and someone's going to walk in there and buy and spend their money. So money trickles down all along the way in each pocket. That is why it's called currency. It is constantly moving currency. So we talk about character in business in the first place. Have a good character, have a good mindset, have a good perspective of business. That and the reasons for why you are getting into business. You might do it for short term or long term. You know, it's left with you. Or sometimes you ask yourself, do I need to do it as a sole proprietor, meaning alone, or do I need partnership? Because there are various types of businesses. We have the LLC, limited liability company, the sole proprietorship, cooperation, all of that, limited cooperation, all of those types of businesses. You have to decide what works best for you, what fit for you. Hey, Sylvester, welcome to the show. What's going on? What's going on? Today's Business Talk. Welcome to the show. Here, I hope everything is going well with you down there in California. Here it's very hot. Green Country, Oklahoma, extremely hot. We're probably in the hundreds today, all week. So those of us that work outside, doing business and stuff, we drink a lot of water just to not dehydrate. So that's just what's going on here. So, but let's get back to the main topic. So you got to have a focus mindset. You got to have a plan as to I'm getting in short term or I'm getting in long term. Number one, you got to know what type of business you want to do. After you figure that out, then you want to handle the legal process. I don't have the legal mind, but with the expertise of being in business for over 18 years, personally running my own business here, actually, it's longer than that. I'm talking about just here in the US, but way back in Liberia before I came, I was doing business, right? But I'm talking about from here, here in the US, 18 long years plus, and I'm still doing it. I think I have the potential and to speak in that capacity, because I'm not going to talk to you about something I don't know. I'm going to talk to you about something that I'm aware of, something that is personal, something I have done, something I cherished, something I love, and that's business, right? A lot of you that know me, that's all I've done, and I'm always humble to God for giving me that mindset, that entrepreneurial mind, that ability to run my own life and not having someone run my life, run my schedule. So business is very important. This is very key. Those are some of the benefits though. You control your own time. You control your own time. That's the benefit. So just to give you a history of mine, 18 plus years I've been doing business in America. I haven't worked for anybody. And God has blessed me. So just from that vantage standpoint, I can speak. And I'm not speaking to hide secrets. I'm speaking to show you the secrets, to unlock the things. Because the mentality with us, Africans, a lot of us Africans, is we figure out something is good or whatever it is. And then instead of sharing it and exposing and unlocking those secrets to our African brothers, we don't. Because, quote unquote, we feel we want to stay on top of things. Right? That's not life. That's not good. That's not a good mindset in the first place. So what you do in that scenario is, I've learned, share, because you want everybody successful. You want people around you successful. Okay. So you go to work, you figure out what type of business you want to do, and if you want to do a sole proprietorship, what you want to get into, maybe used cars sales or, you know, auto sales. Auto sales is a lucrative business too, you know, or you want to do lawn care like I do, or you want to run a moving company, or you want to get into real estate, property management and investment, all of that stuff, right? That's good business you can get into. Farming, in a medical, open a pharmacy or a clinic. You will always make money. I will tell you businesses that you will do that will always bring you money because they are always in demand, right? As long as we have vehicles, we have motorcycles, we have cars running, they're always going to need a doctor. And that doctor is a mechanic. Mechanics will always make money. So when you get into that, you make money, right? People who use cars to drive around. We live in this 21st century world. Transportation is key. Food industry. Food is another big area where you will really, really make money. But you have to have the love and the passion to do it though. From the market to the kitchen, from the kitchen to the table, restaurant table. It's all about attitude. It's all about behavior. So opening a restaurant, food, you always make money because people have to eat to live. You see, people have to eat to live. Health, pharmacy, clinic, always, everywhere around you, any part of the world, someone is sick. And when someone's sick, guess what? They need a doctor. That's business. It's sad for me to mention this, but it's true. Building or running a mortuary business. That's another area because someone is dying somewhere around the world. Someone is going to die and they're going to need someone to embalm the body, to do the burial and all of that stuff. Folks, very important. So after you figure out what you want to do, then now comes the registration process. You want to be able to register the business. You want to do it legal. Don't go under the table. Because if you really want to get into business and you want to succeed, you want to make it legal. You want to register it, have your papers, and keep them current, and run. That gives you the right that you are a full-fledged business. That's it. You register. Ice cream business, whatever it is. Very important. And just to name a few, the list is endless. Business. When I'm speaking to someone, when I'm talking to someone, all I think about is business. If you find a lot of pastors that are running churches from a business standpoint, those churches always are packed. They are packed because those pastors are innovating, they are thinking, they are investing. They're not just on the pulpit asking for handouts for tithes and offerings. Right? Running a church is a business. So you incorporate, because if someone is coming to a church and they feel that they cannot be helped, there's no opportunity there for them. What do you think? They are going to find somewhere else where they feel they fit, where there is an opportunity. They're not just coming for the word. Most people, especially in a digital age where we live in, people can sit down and watch the word from their phones or tablets or computers, whatever. But people are coming to church with a mindset, I'm going to receive the spiritual food as well. I also want to receive the physical. Meaning, is there an opportunity in that church for me? And this is where ministers need to innovate. They need to rethink how they run ministries. How? Right? Because the simplest way Jesus did it was by giving out bread. You call them, you feed them, then you preach the word to them. He did that. But you want to go ahead and do the registration. And then, based on the type of business you want to do, you want to find the right location. That's the next thing. Location, location, location. I tell people in everything, location is very, very paramount. Location is very, very key. Very key. The world we're living in, very key, right? Very significant, folks. I'm telling you, location in business. Because I tell you this, if you take in real estate, if you take a $20,000 home and you place that $20,000 home in a neighborhood where homes are selling for millions, chances are that $20,000 home value will increase. That's what happened. Those of you who are living here, I give you a common scenario. I live in Oklahoma. Housing is relative. I won't say cheap. It's okay. It's minimal as compared to the East Coast, right? The house that I lived in, my house, if I took that home and just uprooted and dropped that house in California or in New York, it will be in millions. When as in Oklahoma, it's just few thousands of thousands, a couple of hundreds, maybe 200,000-300,000 and stuff. But if I took that home here and locate it in New York or California, that property will sell in millions. So location is very, very important, very key when it comes to business, running a business. That intersection in your neighborhood where everybody get to meet and get to pass, you want to be strategic. You open your little business to that intersection. Or you find a neighborhood where you realize people cannot leave, especially those of you in Africa, people cannot just leave at night to go in a market to buy or whatever. But as in you in a neighborhood, you open a nice good shop that provides a provision shop, right? That provides a little bit of everything. Even at night when you're sleeping, people come in knocking at the door. Because now the main market closed, and you are the only one they know in that neighborhood that has a provision shop, that sells a little bit of everything. You are going to make money. So location is very key. It's all about location. So, there's no other way I would emphasize much. Location, 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 location in business. Very important. I would take a pause and just like I've been playing Dr. Miles Monroe book stuff that talks about business before he could die. He said, if you own a business, you need to listen to this. You need to do this. Why your business is not working. So listen.
Until you have experienced bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is not a negative in the plan of God. God will always give you an idea or a dream or a vision or a passion for you to fulfill. But then he would ask for it back, like he did Abraham. Abraham's passion was to have children all his life. And finally, at age 75, God told him, you will have a child. Your passion has been answered. At age 100, he did have that child from his wife. Abraham was so excited about his vision coming to pass. Then suddenly, God did something. He asked him for it. He asked him to sacrifice that son, to get rid of that boy. Basically, he led Abraham into bankruptcy. Out of bankruptcy always comes prosperity. Some of you have tried to do business before and it didn't work. Some of you are trying businesses now and it's not doing too well. And some of you are about to attempt to go into some kind of business. Whatever stage you are at, remember that your business will be tested for authenticity. In other words, if your idea is from God, He will allow it to be tested to the point of losing it and then resurrecting it. Every successful business in the world has a history of going through some stress or some test. That's normal.
Hi, thank every business has some sort of stress before success. So that leads me to this next topic, right? That leads me to this. Failures in business are stepping stones to success. Failures in business are stepping stones to success. If you are running a business and you don't experience failures, or just like you heard from that clip, and you are not tested, your business is not tested to the brink of failing, right? Because he mentioned that. He said, God will test you if it is God's idea of you running a business. He's going to test it. He's going to allow. The enemy is going to, period. The enemy is against success, period, in the first place. So it is going to be tested to the point where it's about to die, and then it's going to resurrect. And when it resurrects, it turns into something else. So I tell people this. Most of you are afraid to start, to get into business. A lot of people are, because they are nervous, they're afraid of failure. Failure is a good thing in life and in business, even in your personal life. But what you learn from the failure is what's going to equip you to becoming a better person. Or whatever you're going to learn in your business that is causing you to fail is going to equip you to move better, in a better direction, to run the next business to success. That's what happened, right? So it's very, very key, very important to experience failures in life. Very key. We live in a world where we are tested every day. Number one, once you begin a business, you have a competition. And your competitors want to knock you out. So, you see why I had to talk from the onset about having the love for doing what you want to do and the passion for it. Because if you have the love and the desire and the passion for it, as much as your competitors want to kick you out and knock you out, you're not going to fall. You're not going to quit. Yeah, you're not just going to take a no for an answer. You got to keep pushing. You got to realize this is my baby. You know, when a female is pregnant and the time comes to give birth to that pregnancy, to that baby, and it's time to push, you don't have to tell them push. The midwives don't have to tell them. When that time really gets, they just want to push that baby. That's how business is. You got to do it. You got to push, push, push. Stronger, harder. Then success will come. And that's why a lot of people are envious of other people's successes. They don't even know what others had to go through for their business or businesses to succeed. And so you come from somewhere and you are envious of someone else's success. You are jealous of someone else's, success. You have no clue what that individual went how to go through to get to where they are. Instead of being happy, instead of finding that person as a resource to learn from that individual, you start making negative comments. You know, oh, that man too boastful. Oh, that girl, don't mind her. She thinks she got money. She thinks because she got business or this. No, it's not because she think. If you labor for something and you enjoy it's successful, you're not going to enjoy it. You enjoy it because you're fighting for financial freedom. And you got money, live it. Because tomorrow is never promising. It's your life. You work for it. As long as you didn't steal it, you work for it. Go. So that part of having a mentor as well is very key. Having a mentor, someone that it's going to hold you accountable in business. I'm not even talking about all the accounting processes, the integrity part, the good communication skills, you know, the respect for the customer and all of that, because it's just hard to talk all of this all at once today. But the pieces of nuggets that we're talking about will be good for you to help you. I tell people this. If you are in a room with 5 millionaires, if you find yourself in the confines of a room or a group of 5 people, and those 5 people are millionaires, chances are you are the number 6, you are going to be a millionaire. That's it. Because the oil is going to rub on you. The grace is going to rub on you because you're going to learn why those 5 people are millionaires, how they became successful or millionaires. They're going to teach you the secrets. And now it's left with you to apply it and fight too. But putting yourself and planting yourself in that environment alone is going to change the dynamics for you. It's going to give you a different mindset, right? So finding a group, finding people who are successful and how you align yourself with them is very important. If you align yourself with wise people, you are going to be wise. If you find yourself around stupid people, chances are you're going to be stupid. If you find yourself in a group of people who aren't going anywhere, all they do is gossip and talk about other people and talk trash all day, you are going to become a gossiper. You're going to become one of them who will be talking trash too. So it's very key as a young person, a young female, a young woman growing up, who you surround yourself with. Very important. I tell people, show me your friends and I will tell you who you are. Some of us have experienced all of that. That is why I don't entertain negativity around me. Negative people who love to talk negative stuff and gossip about other people, I don't entertain that around me. Because I know if I do, eventually I'm going to fall into that same pit. I'm going to become one. No. I don't just go to associations. I have a bunch of friends, and a lot of you have a lot of friends. But it is a decision you ought to make. You have to make that decision. And that takes me back to Jasper. Lofa Pekin asked, he said, how does one become a successful business person in the wake of hardship? Yes, you can. You can. It's very much possible. I know you simply send that question in because you in Liberia and you think Liberia is so hard. But if just right when you think Liberia is hard, if I took you out of Liberia and I put you in a different part of the world, you would say, wow, because you haven't seen hardship yet, right? And this is my answer to your question. Lofa Pekin. When God wanted to free the children of Israel out of the promised land, out of bondage, he chose one person. That person was Moses. And he asked Moses to go. And Moses said, he has nothing. He is nothing. He's insignificant. And so God asked him, Moses, what is that in your hand? What is that, Moses, in your hand? And all that was in Moses' hand was a rod, a staff, which many of us in Liberia call a stick. right? That's it. He had no clue the power and the miracles that rod is going to do. All he had to do was to obey and follow through and put that rod to work, right? So business to me, Jasper, is not like you have to have a bunch of money to do business to succeed. I always tell people to walk your way from the bottom up. People who always start from the top down, they always fail because you have to start from something smaller and work your way up. Along the way, you're going to face challenges, failures, and successes, and it will prepare you. I mean, some families are highly gifted and everything is brought to them on a silver platter. Their parents work for everything and they take all the millions and just give it to them. They didn't suffer for it, they didn't work for it, but somebody did, which is their parent, right? So, in answer to your question, I would say the same way God asked Moses. I will ask you, what is that in your hand? What is that thing that God has given you? Because God created every human being very unique with our own giftings and talents. What is that talent that God has given you? There's business in it. Once you find that thing, there is money in it. There is success in it. You can turn it around no matter what part of the planet you are. And in fact, these days, from what you listen to Dr. Miles Monroe, people become successful when they are problem solvers. So if you live in a society where there's hardship, a bunch of problems always, find the solution. See how well you can make life easier and better. You'll become successful. If you are in a room where you are the one finding solutions or working for a company, you're always looking for solutions. You are the one that company needs. The one who is not looking for solutions is just going to clock in and clock out. When it's time to lay people away, they'll be the first on the list to go. That's what companies do here in the US. When the companies are laying people off, they're looking at people who are solution finders. That's what happened. So be a solution finder. Problem solvers. Solve the problems. And you set yourself up for success. So I ask you, what is it in your hand? What type of talent has God given you? Some of you can sing when you open your mouth, nowhere close. Beyonce will not even come close. And you bury those talents, the singing voice. Some of you, it's easier to sit around and blame and play the blame game and say the government is not doing this, the government is not doing. But what are you doing as an individual to foster your own career, to foster your own dream? What are you doing, folks? This is business talk today, man. I'm not playing. This is for real because I want you successful. I want you, everybody. God did not create man that man should suffer or man should rule another man. God created you that you run your own domain. That you run, that you in a way where there's a word I'm looking for. Control that sphere, that environment. Dominate that environment. God created, yes, that's the word. God created man to dominate. Dominate your environment. Not to rule another man. No. Find it. Find that thing, folks. It's inside you. That nursing, that pharmacy you want to open. Some of you, God keep coming in your dreams and sleep and private moments and keep bringing something to your mind over and over again. And you take it and put it behind to the back burner. It comes, another year comes, it does the same thing. Same thing. God is telling you, it is that thing I have given you. That is your path to your success. That is your path out of poverty. A lot of us ignore. And then what happens is this, because God is no respecter of man, he's going to take that same thing that he has given you that you ignore over and over and over, and someone else, you're going to find someone else doing that thing. And you say, oh yeah, I have that same idea years ago. I thought about that. You thought about it. You had an idea. What did you do? What did you do? You see, you don't want to be that victim. You don't want to play that victim mentality. Folks, business. Business is what you want to do. Business, it's everywhere. Everywhere. Business. Except you didn't eat food today. But you went in the market, you bought rice. Somebody sold rice to you, that business. You bought the peppers and stuff, business. The cubes, market cubes, all the seasonings and stuff, business. The electricity you're using right now, whether here in the US, the one I'm using, or in Liberia, it's business. The cell phone that you have in your hand, it's business. This one in my hand, it's business. Someone, every time you buy a cell phone, someone is making money. Samsung is making money. Apple is making money, right? The computer, all of it. So business is everywhere. You're driving a car, you need gas. Someone's selling it, gas station, that's business. The phone you're using, you need mobile minutes. For you, you have to buy the mobile minutes when it's done. But for me, I have to buy a monthly plan for the entire service, right? It's someone who's providing those services. That's business. So do something. Don't sit there. I'm here to encourage all of us. All of us. You'll continue to do business until the day you die. It's everywhere. Folks, I'm telling you. Those of you who are joining me today, thank you so much for joining me, and some of you who share the link. You see, it's funny though. When I look at the viewers on this all important topic that will benefit and help transform someone's life, you don't see a lot of people gravitating towards to watch this. But when you're talking nonsense, if I were here and acting up and talking and sitting and cussing all kinds of cuss, I will get a lot of people watching right now. And most people will share it. They say, listen to this. If I was to sit here and start cussing government officials and being feisty and nasty, I will have a lot of viewing audience. So you see, it's a mental thing. You have to change your mentality, how you view things. I don't even go online to listen to most of those platforms that will not benefit me. All they talk is gossips. No, that's not what I'm going to spend my time on, because the most important thing that God has given you and I equally, and any other person around the world equally, is time. But my question to you is, what do you do with your time? The time, 12 hours, 24 hours a day. What you do with it is what's going to change the course of destiny for you. Because the same 12 hours you have a day, the president of the United States of America has the same 12 hours. He's calling the shots every day. He's making his decision every day. I have the same time. You have the same time. Right? So you don't want to sit around to just waste time. Time is no respecter. Time is always ticking. It's always moving. It never goes back. It's always going. Some of you are already in the dark, in the nighttime, evening. Some of us in the afternoon, folks. What time? Make use of your time. Push business. Don't listen to what others are saying about you. That's another mentality I want to give you. When I started my business years ago, I had this mentality, and I was thinking, because the business I started, it was not a business that most people would do, right? And I was a little bit baffled. I started feeling intimidated. What would people think about me? What would people say? Wow, Sam is doing that, and stuff like that. It was getting to a point where I had to bring a friend, circle myself with in a company of friends who are business people, and they help validate my thought process. As in, Sam, who cares? It's your business. If you succeed today, that money, the money you're going to be making, it's not going to be rotting money. And then I realized I, I, I had to get my eyes off of what people think or are going to say about what I do. This is about my life. This is about my family. This is me changing the tree, the money tree, the prosperity tree for my life. So I didn't care, right? So the first business for whatever I started, just to be honest, was janitorial work, cleaning toilets. Janitorial, cleaning toilets, folks. I'm telling you. Hmm? Yeah. It's just like almost the same way Liberians were sitting in Liberia, and if a Fulani or a Mandingo person would come in a community and they start selling coal. They start doing the things that the typical Liberian man will not want to do because they feel if they do it, they are lowering their prestige. And by the time you look 1 or 2 years, the very Liberians are the one going to that Fulani man, or that Mandingo man to borrow. Because the man now humble himself, he scrap it down, and God help him, he opened a shop. And now he growing. And now you don't have money. He has the money now. He has the business. And you go in now, being a beggar, literally, because, or a slave, because the borrower, when you borrow from someone, you're a slave. That's what the Bible says. The borrower is slave to the lender. That's in Proverbs. Yeah. So when I came here, I humble myself. I tell people, it doesn't matter. America will humble you. It doesn't matter if you have 10 degrees in your head. You come here. That's why most people in Africa, they come here, they won't make it in life. It doesn't matter how much book you know. America will neutralize you. Because in America, it's how smart you work. It's not how much book. I'm not saying knowing book is not a bad thing, but it's how hard and how smart you work. That's it. You will make the money. You have the energy and you're smart, you'll make it. That's the difference. So I humble myself. I did the things that others could not do. Today, I'm not doing those things. I'm at a different level. I'm grateful. But this is my path. And I'm here to share my story, bits and pieces to encourage you. Because I want you, the listening audience, to succeed too. If you get to spend 8 hours of your time on social media and you're not making money, then get off. Go and find something else that will make you money. Because every time you flip those phones and those videos, those funny comedies and whatever you're watching, and hours on social media, you're making somebody else money. Someone is getting rich. They're getting more likes, more views, and more content. It's building up. Eventually, YouTube or TikTok or Facebook they start cashing on it. You see? So business is everywhere, folks. Business everywhere. Encourage your children, encourage your friends to do business. And I can tell people it's not everyone who's called to become a business person. But doctors, I know doctors who are running full-time, jobs, go to work in their profession. At the same time, they have businesses they're running outside of that profession. Doctors. So it's everywhere. Private practice. That's what they do. Lawyers. It's business. The government is all around business, around all business. Everywhere you go, services and stuff. Folks, I'm telling you. So as I come to the close of this business week talk, what time is it? Okay. Yeah, definitely to the close of this discussion. And next week, I will be here at the same time at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is 7 p.m. Liberian time. I hope you all will join me here as well to do business. Talk business. I think it's about business talk. Sam Gadu. Come here, talk business, and eventually we'll start hearing testimonies and success stories on Talk TV Media Network. That Talk TV Media Network helped me, got me on the right path. That's it. That's it. So I thank you all so highly, so much for joining me here today. Here, as I come to the close of this broadcast. Tomorrow we'll be here. The politicians, or Saturday, those who want to talk politics, we'll talk about politics. Sunday at 2 p.m. Central Time as well. We'll bring the gospel show, Sunday gospel show. And we're trying to make sure we get everything on schedule for everybody so you all can narrow it down. Saturday we'll be here at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time for the Kisi dialect show, and that will be 10 p.m. Liberian time as well. So I hope you keep track of the schedule. Very fascinating. Saturday, Backyard Politics at 12 noon, where we do a weekly recap of current events, events taking place during the course of the week. Liberia just turned 176 years old yesterday. A special shout out to all of you who are celebrating. Those of us who are here will be celebrating ours, hopefully this weekend as well. So we'll be discussing that. We'll be discussing the independence. Now that the old man is 176 years old, we want to discuss it. What next? What else the old man got to give us? 176 years old, Mama Liberia. Are you satisfied with the Liberia you see now, you live in, you have? Are you or not? So we will have a lot to talk about. A lot. Packed. We'll talk about.
Success in business cannot be taught in a college. Successful business people.
I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Who dropped out of school. Because what makes business successful cannot be taught. When I was in university doing my master's degree in a business leadership administration course, one of the professors was teaching a class on economics. And when I walked into the class for the first time, the professor came in and he had on some slippers, a short pair of blue jean pants that was cut by hand. He had on a t-shirt and he drove an old Volkswagen. And he said to me and to the class, he said, today we are going to learn how to become a millionaire. I looked at him in his slippers, his pants. The car he was driving was old. And I asked him, are you a millionaire? He said, no. So I dropped the class. I never went back. Here was a man who was going to teach me how to be a successful businessman, to become a millionaire, and it wasn't working for him. Most of the successful people in the world did not learn business in a classroom. The success of this ministry was not taught in a classroom. I doubt that anything about this ministry was learned in a class. You have heard many times